continue to suffer at the hands of criminals. In a series of heartbreaking reports, we bring you the stories of 3 little girls, all brutally murdered. The details of the cases may differ, but one question remains. What must we do to protect the innocent?
He was lovely for me. Always see me, she was very happy, always happy.
But this time, as Jan Ndebele and his wife Miriam arrive home from Johannesburg, their little daughter Naledi isn't there to greet them. And instead of happiness, there's just stunned silence and tears. The girl was playing at a neighbour's house over the weekend. An unidentified woman came to fetch her, saying she would take her home. By the evening, her grandmother realised she was missing. Police discovered her body less than 24 hours later. It was wrapped in a piece of sheepskin, pulled under a thorn bush, about 1 kilometre from her home. There were marks on her throat and back, and her underwear was missing. Post-mortem results will determine how she was killed and whether she'd been sexually assaulted. Charlene Stanley, E-News, Brandfort.
Meanwhile, in Cape Town, police struggle to keep angry residents away from the gates of the Mitchells Plain Magistrates Court. Community members have threatened to kill Richard Engelbrecht, the prime suspect in the murder of 11-year-old Anastasia Visser. The 24-year-old was arrested shortly after Anastasia's body was found on Sunday in the ceiling of her mother's home. Engelbrecht is the mother's boyfriend and appeared in court surrounded by some 40 policemen. Police have also had their hands full protecting Anastasia's mother from angry protesters who are demanding answers. Janine Visser had to leave the courtroom via the holding cells, flanked by several police officers and trauma counsellors. The protests were so fierce that Engelbrecht could not leave court in the standard police van, but had to be taken away in a Casper. He'll remain in custody until his next court appearance on the 22nd of March. Robin Smith, E-News, Cape Town.
And in the third of those stories, in Pretoria, over 1,000 people have attended an emotional memorial service for Sheldine Himan. The 7-year-old's body was found in a stormwater drain not far from her home last week. She'd been missing for 15 days.
Sheldine's mother, Elise, arrived at the memorial service to find an already packed tent. Among the mourners were many of Sheldine's fellow pupils from Tuinrand Laerskool. Some found it difficult to contain their grief. During the memorial service, Pastor Andries Nel said identifying Sheldine's body was one of the most traumatic things he had to endure. Other speakers highlighted the need to prevent crimes against children. Sheldine was later laid to rest during a private funeral. The man charged with her murder, Andrew Jordan, is due back in court on Friday. Valdi Karelse, E-News, Pretoria.
At the same time, the top civil servants charged with bringing criminals to justice have urged South Africans to be more vigilant. The Justice, Crime Prevention and Public Safety Cluster says you should talk to police if you suspect a child in your community is at risk.
I think it's a set time every time whenever there's a bad case of any person killed or harmed, in particular children, only to have discovered by the police that the perpetrator was known by the people very close to the victims themselves and had always and sometimes known of that particular behavior by that person. And if only that information had been brought to the police area, such things could have been averted.